Anthropic hits 100B while Scale AI crashes. The AI winner-loser divide. The AI industry just hit a defining moment that's reshaping everything we thought we knew about tech valuations. While everyone's been watching the giants battle it out, Anthropic quietly went from $1 billion to $4 billion in revenue this year alone. Their secret weapon? Claude Code, which hit 3 million weekly downloads and changed how enterprises think about AI tools. Now they're eyeing a $100 billion valuation that would put them in rarefied air. But here's the twist. While this AI darling is soaring, another major player just laid off 200 employees after losing their biggest clients. How did one startup rocket from $1 billion to $4 billion? And what lessons does Scale AI's collapse offer for the next wave of AI leaders? That 4 times revenue jump didn't happen by accident. Anthropic discovered something most AI companies are still missing. Enterprises don't want another chatbot demo. They want tools that actually solve problems. Claude Code proved this point spectacularly, reaching 3 million weekly downloads, while their iOS app manages just 3 million monthly users. Developers are choosing Claude Code over consumer-facing alternatives at a rate that suggests something fundamental shifted in how people approach AI assistants. Anthropic's rocket ship to 100 billion. But here's where the story gets interesting. Anthropic isn't just growing fast, they're growing profitably. Their gross profit margins jumped to 60%, and they're targeting 70% within the next year. What does this mean for us? It means Anthropic figured out how to build AI that doesn't require burning cash to acquire customers. Companies are actually willing to pay premium prices for Claude because it delivers consistent results without the unpredictable quirks that plague other models. The numbers they're sharing with investors paint an even bolder picture. Anthropic projects they could hit $35 billion in revenue by 2027, with their conservative estimate at $11 billion, still tripling their current revenue in just 3 years. These aren't pie-in-the-sky projections either. Despite their previous $61.5 billion valuation, venture capitalists are literally approaching Anthropic with funding offers without the company even actively fundraising. When investors start throwing money at you unprompted, you've clearly struck something valuable. The talent retention story reveals another layer of Anthropic's strength. When 2 key developers left for Cursor, they returned within just 2 weeks, signaling strong internal culture that matches their external success. Strong company culture becomes crucial when you're scaling from startup to potential $100 billion valuation. What makes Claude different comes down to reliability and practical application. While competitors focus on flashy capabilities, Anthropic built their model to be consistently helpful for real-work scenarios. Enterprise customers report fewer hallucinations, more accurate code generation, and better contextual understanding of complex business problems. This focus on practical utility over impressive demos explains why companies are migrating their AI workflows to Claude, despite switching costs. This growth represents something bigger than one company's success. We're watching the AI industry mature, from experimental technology to essential business infrastructure. Anthropic positioned themselves perfectly for this transition by focusing on what enterprises actually need rather than what sounds impressive in tech demos. But not every AI company is riding this wave successfully. Scale AI's fall from grace. The numbers tell a brutal story. Losing Google and OpenAI as customers meant Scale lost more than half of their total business overnight. What does this mean for a company that built its entire strategy around serving major AI players? It means your business model can collapse faster than you ever imagined possible. These weren't just any clients either. Google and OpenAI represented the gold standard customers that every AI services company wants to land. Scale AI's story shows exactly what happens when the ground shifts beneath you. The company just eliminated 200 full-time employees, cutting 14% of their workforce in a single move. They also stopped working with 500 global contractors. We're not talking about minor adjustments or seasonal fluctuations. This represents a fundamental restructuring of how Scale operates as a business. The leadership situation adds another layer of complexity to Scale's struggles. Key executives departed through Meta's acquisition, leaving interim CEO Jason Droege to manage a crisis without the institutional knowledge that originally built the company. Imagine trying to steer a ship through a storm while half your experienced crew just jumped to another vessel. That's essentially what Scale faces right now. But here's the deeper issue that Scale missed. The AI industry moved away from their core business model without them noticing. Scale built their reputation on data labeling services, positioning themselves as the essential infrastructure for AI training. The problem? AI companies started developing synthetic data generation and self-training models that made traditional data labeling less critical. Droege's internal memo reveals just how quickly things went wrong. He admitted the company hired too many people too quickly, creating too many layers, excessive bureaucracy, and unhelpful confusion about the team's mission. This isn't corporate speak for minor inefficiencies. This describes a company that lost control of its own growth and forgot what made it successful in the first place. When even critical AI infrastructure can collapse overnight, what separates the winners from the losers? Their pivot strategy focuses on enterprise and government sales. But this feels reactive rather than strategic. Government contracts move slowly, and enterprise sales cycles take months or years to develop. Meanwhile, Scale needs revenue now to justify keeping their remaining workforce employed. What does shifts in market demand actually mean in this context? It means the fundamental assumptions about how AI models get trained changed faster than Scale could adapt. Companies that once needed armies of human labelers to tag images and text now use AI to generate training data automatically. Scale's entire value proposition became less relevant almost overnight. The Great AI Divide. These two stories reveal something bigger happening in AI right now. We're watching the formation of clear winners and losers, with valuations that seemed impossible just months ago becoming reality. The market is making a decisive choice. Companies that build actual AI products get rewarded, while those providing infrastructure or services face an uphill battle. What does this mean for the hundreds of AI startups currently seeking funding? It means investors are becoming incredibly selective, creating what experts call a flight to quality, where only proven profitable AI ventures with clear paths to profitability attract serious money. But here's the sustainability question that keeps coming up. Can Anthropic's $100 billion valuation actually hold up? We've seen tech bubbles before, and the willingness of investors to throw money at top AI labs without formal fundraising processes feels eerily familiar. The difference this time might be the immediate practical value these companies deliver. Unlike previous tech cycles where companies burned cash for market share, Anthropic is already profitable and growing fast. Picture what this means for talent in the AI space. Top engineers are gravitating toward the obvious winners, creating a concentration of expertise that makes it even harder for smaller companies to compete. Remember those two key Anthropic developers who returned after just 2 weeks at Cursor? That highlighted how the best talent recognizes where the momentum really lies. Companies that can't offer competitive packages or promising futures will struggle to attract the people they need to innovate. Enterprise customers are driving this consolidation too. Businesses want to streamline their AI investments rather than managing relationships with multiple providers. They're choosing fewer, more reliable partners for their AI needs. Scale AI's experience, losing Google and OpenAI, shows how quickly enterprise relationships can shift when customers decide to consolidate their spending. Here's why this matters on a global scale. AI leadership is becoming concentrated in fewer hands, and that has serious geopolitical implications. The countries and companies controlling this technology gain strategic advantages in areas like national security and economic competitiveness that could reshape international competition. Which AI company do you think will ultimately dominate this space? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Looking at historical tech cycles, AI seems to be following a familiar pattern, but at unprecedented speed. The industry is maturing faster than anyone predicted, moving beyond hype into practical commercialization. What we're witnessing goes deeper than just business competition. Conclusion. The real story here is that practical, revenue-driving AI has finally won over hype. Anthropic's $4 billion revenue surge and Scale AI's collapse show us exactly where the industry is heading. What does this mean for your career or investment decisions? The companies that survive the next 18 months will likely control the next decade of AI development. We may be witnessing the formation of AI's equivalent to big tech, complete with massive valuations and market concentration. The next 18 months will decide which AI labs shape the next decade. Choose your side wisely. If you found this analysis useful, hit that like button and subscribe for more AI market insights as this story continues to unfold.